back. Welcome back. Another episode. Four Quarters Pod, man. We're back at it again. Hell of a game tonight. Let's get right into it. Hell of a game tonight.
Game 1, Eastern Finals, Pacers, Celtics. What did you think of that matchup coming in?
I thought it was going to be a better matchup than people thought. The Pacers are the number one scoring team in the league. They have the number one shooting percentage from three-point line in the league, when it comes to percentage-wise. They're a tough team to guard because they just run and gun. They don't really kind of care how they score, when they score. They're kind of like the old kind of D'Antoni rules, first 5-10 seconds of the shot clock, get a shot up. They play like that. So it's tough. It's tough to guard, especially when they're rolling. After Game 7, they were shooting the lights out in Game 7. They kind of carried over tonight. They were not missing early. The Celtics went on a little early run, but after that, it was Pacers were rolling. I think the Pacers have a good chance because they have a really good bench. One of the best benches in the league with TJ and Obi Toppin over there, kind of like leading the charge. And if Obi Toppin's playing well, they're really hard to beat because when he's rolling, it's another beast you got to worry about. Like it's a lot to deal with over there. But we'll see, man. It's going to be an interesting series.
No, I agree. I think I had Celtics 6.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough from the Celtics to just totally dismiss Indiana because of how much Indiana can score. The Celtics sometimes have those lapses of like they're not locked in. And if you don't lock in on Indiana, you're gonna look up and you're like, damn, this is a 128 to 131 game.
And you don't want that.
Yeah. So what happened tonight? So, you got to definitely have all hands on deck with Indiana and be ready to bring your track shoes and get 100%. Back. If you don't get back against Indiana, you're just playing right into their hands.
Yeah, especially when Tyrese Halliburton's playing well, like he did tonight, man, they're a different beast. When he's pulling in threes, shooting them unorthodox shots from deep, like that shot he had at the end of the half from 40-something feet was nuts.
Yeah, banker. I don't think he called it, but I think it felt good when it left.
The double clutch joint in third, stupid.
Yeah. And when you're getting, I think we talked about it last week. When you're getting that 25 and 12 more so out of him, it changes a completely dynamic of your team.
100%.
You got a star. So the shot making and playmaking. He had a pass too. I think.
Yeah, down the stretch.
Kind of like look away, jump, like.
Nasty.
And I'm like, he's got. I like Tyrese's game. I think he's polarizing a little bit because I don't think everybody likes his game.
Yeah, it's not the most. It doesn't look the best, but it gets the job done.
It's so effective. There's no wasted motion. It's very efficient.
He is 6'6" PG.
Yeah. Like I might just put you on my hip. Fake spin, come back around, just pull the 3. Like I'm not gonna really play too much with it. Like
he's tough, man. He led the league in assists for a reason. Like he's no joke. He's no joke. The Pacers, if they had won tonight, we would be talking about a whole different series. Not a whole different series. I think it would still probably go 6. I think Boston can get one in Indy if they need to.
Yeah.
Boston just has too many weapons, man. You saw that night, Jaylen Brown had to kind of took over in the first half, was kind of doing this thing, and then Tatum second half, just my turn. But the one thing about the Celtics is they play too much my turn basketball and too much ISO, and they rely on the 3 way too much. You got to get to the basket sometimes.
They're so versatile that they can play a lot of different ways. And so I think that's why they struggle with their identity in these last few years. It's like, are we a running gun team? Are we a tighten down on the deck and lock up and hound you all game type of team? Are we a 3-point shooting team? Sometimes they're the best 3-point shooting team in the league.
Right.
And sometimes they can't buy a 3.
Yeah.
So because they can play a lot of different ways, kind of like plays against them in a weird way.
Yeah. Because some games, it's like they're just shooting threes to shoot threes because they want to get a certain amount of threes up. But, like, they're not even good threes. So it's like, what are we shooting these bad threes for if they're not even going to go in? So we can't just shoot to shoot bad shots.
Nor is our roster really like – Boston's roster isn't like a 3. I wouldn't say, hey, let's pace and space,
Not really.
Yeah.
Tatum is more of a do it all three levels, more than just
All
a
three
3-point
levels.
shooter. He's more of a mid. I like him more in the mid range and in the post more than doing the 3-point line. I mean, he's just more. He's 6'10". Use your height, like you know what I mean. You forget how tall he is. You got to get in the post a little bit more and you work on that mid range. Like the mid range in the playoffs is your best friend. It's the jab, as Jamal Crawford says. It just keeps you at bay. Like it just keeps you in the game. It's tough when other teams go on a run and you have to try and hit a three to combat it and you miss it and they go get a layup. Like it kills your momentum. A mid range could kind of settle you down.
Yeah, especially when you got like 2.5 left, 3 minutes left. Go
big
get one.
possessions.
Cut it to one. Now, funnily enough, pressure goes back to the offensive team getting the ball because y'all miss. Now we can go to another 2 and go up. We don't even got to get a 3.
And it's just more of a high percentage shot. I feel better about a mid-range turnaround than I do about a step back 3 depending on the person. You know what I mean? Like I think Jason Tatum's mid-range post-up game, I would say it's better, but I like it more than his step back 3 game over somebody because I think like it's just a more percentage shot. He's 6'10". Even if he misses, he can go get it. He can get all his own rebound. Like it's just a better shot for them, I think. But like Jaylen Brown is a mid-range guy. He don't shoot threes unless he's wide open. Or tonight in the corner, he had no choice. Shot 3 in the corner, which was a hell of a shot, by the way. Hell of a shot, by the way. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
You almost trust Jaylen Brown more in that type of predicament than Tatum, I feel like, just because of
the mid-range factor.
The mid-range, but just like the temperament of Tatum. Like when I was watching that game late, I'm looking at Tatum, Drew, and Jaylen. Mm-hmm. And it kind of felt like Drew and Jaylen was kind of like had that motor kind of ticking late to where Tatum has to kind of look like, okay, oh shit, this is game 1, Eastern Conference Finals. There's a minute left. Let me get in here,
I mean, he ended up with 36 and 12, so he didn't have a bad night.
Yeah.
So that's the thing either. He didn't have a bad night. He just wasn't aggressive in the spots we wanted him to be more aggressive in.
He doesn't have any bad games. I don't think I've
ever
really
doesn't
have a bad game. Really.
He doesn't have bad. But yeah, his numbers are. Yeah. When you look at the numbers, you think he played worse than he did than the numbers say. Yeah. Just like off the eye test, like, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. But the man had 38, 30. He's not playing bad. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, he didn't do his job. But it's kind of like we did with LeBron back in the day. We nitpick. When you get to his level, you win the Eastern Conference 5 times in a row or 5 times in 7 years, like, the scrutiny just gets tighter and tighter because, like, now we've seen you here on the stage so many times. You haven't gotten it. You got it done once to get to the finals. So, like, now we're going to nitpick every little thing you do because we've seen this too many times. We've seen this story so many times already, you know what I mean? So, that's why he kind of gets hurt a little bit with his, like, not legacy, but, like, the way he gets ranked is because he hasn't reached the top of the mountain and he's been there so many times. Like, you think, like, oh, shit, if you put Luka in the Eastern Conference Finals 5 times, he's going to get to the finals 3 out of 5. That's what you would think, you know what I mean? Hypothetically. True. Like, that's what you think, but he did lose to LeBron a couple of them times, like – but still, like he has to get one soon, because otherwise that team gonna have to get broken up. You think at some point, because like we not getting over the hump.
Well, Jaylen Brown's on the hook for about $60 million a year, right?
Well, he ain't going nowhere.
And then, but
Tatum's next, right?
It's Tatum's turn.
Oh yeah, he threw what 320, whatever. How much was
he's gonna get more than 60 per? I would imagine. So. He's got to. They've got to make a decision. These are 2 guys. These are the 2 guys they're gonna have for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've seen the product thus far. So Boston's gonna really think about this.
I mean, you can keep them and keep getting East Conference Finals and keep trying to figure out their third piece. I mean, that's not a bad recipe to win a championship.
It's not. When you're shuffling Drew Holiday and Kristaps and shit, that's not bad at all.
I mean, like Drew Holiday tonight had his season high 28, 29 against the East Conference Finals. He had a 50 ball when he was on Bucks to help him get to that championship. Like the man can put the ball in the basket, and he's just been over there chilling, playing his role. He for sure sacrificed the most out of the people who've been on that team. Sure. He's just a true professional, man. Like, I mean, anyone would love to have a Drew Holiday on their team. The ultimate professional.
And he could show that ring in that locker room too.
He's been there.
Yeah,
he's been there before. He's done that, and he was a big piece of doing that. He was the guy like just sitting there. He was huge for that championship.
Yeah,
like people forget how good he was on that team.
Both ends.
on both ends of the floor for real. So we'll see, man. I mean, look, Boston up 1-0. Game 2 on Thursday. It's gonna be a good one.
I got
I
Boston in
agree.
6.
I agree with you on that. I think I got Boston in 6 as well. I think they just have too much firepower at the end of the day for the Pacers to kind of really get over the hump. If they can get it 2-2 going back to Boston, then we'll talk about 6. Because after the night, they can get one in Boston. They can get one.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be a blowout game or a close one. The fact that it went to overtime.
I thought Boston would kind of take this one forcefully.
I thought they would too. Like I want to make a statement game type thing, but they do that. They had them lapses. They also haven't been challenged all playoffs, so maybe this will wake them up.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I feel like they've been playing that way all year though. Like they just had those lapses
up and down.
Like, let's lose to the Lakers without LeBron and AD. Like, huh?
Right. Yeah, they do that. They do that. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a good series, man. It's gonna be a good series. I mean, it's the playoffs, the best time of year, so I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see.
Winning, you're in. Winning,
you're in. Winning, you're in the dance.
Yeah.
The big dance, man. It's almost that time.
Yeah.
All right, Mel. At the end of the first quarter, we'll be back in a second.
All right, now.
Peace. We're back at it. Second quarter. 4-quarter podcast. Quarter two. All right. Western Conference Finals. They have arrived. The Timberwolves pull off a big, huge Game 7 win on the road in Denver. Closed out the defending champs in tremendous fashion. Didn't see. I mean, I wanted the Wolves to win. Didn't see it happening like that. Unreal win. What did you think about that Game 7?
I mean, I did have many in 5. It didn't go 5. It went 7. But I did think that they were. I don't know if they were the better team. I've been hearing that, like, oh, the better team won. I don't know if the better actual team won, but I think the Nuggets met their best match
for sure,
matchup wise. I mean, they were equipped to just really just throw bodies at Jokic, and the series ended how it started, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of a mark where you put your stamp on a team. Like, we won out. So kudos to Minnie. And I mean, we're watching the next guy kind of come right up and behind the Lukas and the Tatums and the, Embiids and the Giannis's. So we're watching that next guy join the party, and it's a lot of fun.
It's wild to watch. I mean, seeing kind of like the torch being passed, kind of to a degree, with all like the vets kind of not really being in the playoffs right now, except for Kyrie. It's kind of the only one like over 30 who's done this before, still playing. So it is definitely change of an era. And I mean, it's fun to see, fun to watch. I mean, Ant's been unbelievable. He didn't have a great shooting night, but he just made big timely shots down the stretch. Like he was like 6 for 24 or something, but it didn't feel like it toward the end of the game. Like the way he was playing, his energy is always there. He's a top defender. Pick Jamal Murray at half court for a play, got a dunk, like stuff like that. Just fires your team up, and then when your stars doing it, especially, I mean, man, you can't help but root for the guy.
Now Cat and Nas are coming in and getting blocks and getting big boards because like you said, the best guy's doing this type of stuff. He's picking up Jamal Murray at half, like New Jersey. So
it just shows his leadership is he doesn't have to say much because he can just show it on the court. Like he leads in so many different ways. You know what I mean? There's different kind of leaders they have out there, but he's been phenomenal, man.
What do you think about the Jordan comps? Do you have a comp for him? What do you see when you watch him? Is that too much?
No, he has a mannerism of Jordan to a degree. He's the long strides, the lanky finishes, the hang time. Yeah. He's not Jordan, obviously. He has the Kobe and Jordan turnaround. He has those mannerisms, and like he's just a dog, kind of like those dudes where talks trash, backs it up, losing or winning. Like he's a hooper at heart, and he's just here to play. He's here to play, play basketball and put on a show.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's where the comps come from. I think it's just he takes us back to that era.
Yeah,
I'm guarding Jamal. It's the fourth quarter. I'm guarding Jamal Murray.
Yep.
Give me the ball on the wing on offense, and it's a real throwback. It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
I mean, he wearing a wife beater, the little tank top
Right?
pregame, like,
Hilarious.
man, like I've been jumping at the bit to get to play this game,
Yeah.
like an AAU kid, like you just in
Yeah,
your flip
bro.
flops, in your shorts in the hotel, like ready to play.
It's crazy. He definitely brings you back to that old school type of mentality. Kind of like how Brunson does for the Knicks. I get the same
Yeah,
type of vibe of just like
yeah,
old school, like heady, just a dog, just wants to, just hoop and just play well. And like if you lose, doesn't get too high. If you win, doesn't get too high. It's always the same, very even keel. So
yes,
that's why I
sir.
love Ant. He does remind me of those old school type of dudes. But
Yeah.
speaking of Ant, we got a big,
Mhm.
big, big matchup coming up. Mavs, Timberwolves, game 1 tomorrow night, Wednesday night.
Wow.
Um,
Hell of
wow.
a
I mean,
matchup.
Jesus.
Hell of a
Hell
matchup.
of a matchup. Hell of a matchup. I mean,
Who you like in that series?
this is a tough one. Because as much as I love Ant, I feel the same way, but maybe a little bit more because I've seen Kyrie play for a longer period of time about
Yeah,
Kyrie. Just
absolutely.
like the slander he was getting the last 2 or 3, 4 seasons, to see where he's
Oh,
at now, I'm just happy for the dude. Like he's had a kind of a resurgence. Like he's seems so much more at ease and happy about like where he's at in his life.
right.
And like he just seems like a whole different kind of player. So like I'm rooting for him. I want the Mavs to win. I think I got the Mavs in 7.
Really?
I got the Mavs in
Okay.
7. I think it's gonna be a 7-game series.
Okay. So
We'll see though.
if I love the Kyrie plug, by the way. I mean, if nobody's gonna say it, Four Quarters Pod is gonna say it, Kyrie. Salute to you,
Yeah,
hooping
100%.
in the Western Finals. When the things are going murky and it's a little cloudy, there's a lot of media attention, and there's not as much when this guy is playing some of the best basketball in the league.
Right.
Definitely one of our favorite guys to watch. I like to call him, Mini Bean.
For sure.
But I'm a differ from your
Okay.
prediction a lot. Actually, I'm gonna go on the whole other end of the spectrum.
What you got?
I'm gonna say Mini in 5 for this series as well.
Okay.
I'm
Why you
like,
say that?
I think they got one too many bodies on the perimeter that I
Okay.
think can hound Luke. They have enough to go around for Luka and Kyrie. I feel like
Okay.
when I talk about Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Nikhil, you're probably gonna be decent with Nas in some switches type situations. So I think Kyrie and Luka a little gimpy coming out of last series here. There was a couple games where I'm like, is OKC gonna win this series by default? Because I
Right.
was just like, so coming in with the intensity that Mini can bring. We kind of saw Jamal Murray deal with it. He kind of had some calf leg issue at the end of the Lakers series, and then you drop 2 at home and against Mini. So I think I could see a similar matchup because you got the 2 offensive juggernauts, kind of
Right.
engines of their team, and then Mini can kind of like clamp down on them. I think that's how I kind of see that matchup going.
Okay. I mean, look. Minnesota has the best defense in the league for a reason. I'm not gonna say they don't have enough to guard the Mavs. I just don't know. Guard Kyrie and guard Jamal Murray are 2 different animals, 2 different beasts. Guard Jamal Murray is more off screens, pick and rolls. Kyrie don't need nothing. He can just get out the way. One.
Yeah.
And said after the game he's going to guard Kyrie so far at the start of the series. So I'm just curious if they're going to have that matchup. Is Kyrie? They're going to let Kyrie do more pick and rolls, tire Ant out early, have him be running all over the court because he is their biggest offensive piece. And I feel like guarding some of those dudes, he's going to get a little tired a little quicker than he is guarding just Jamal Murray. It's not just Jamal Murray no more. You got Luka and Kyrie. So even you get that switch, it's going to be a little tougher.
Absolutely. Foul trouble is going to be huge dealing with
Foul trouble is going to be huge in this series. I think Nikhil has great size for his position.
Right.
You just can't speed Kyrie up. Like he has every finish in the book. But having Rudy Gobert down there is also another thing. You can press up because you have that shot blocking down there. I'm curious to see just the matchups because like you got the 2 bigs on Minnesota And Mavs don't play two bigs. They don't play Lively and Gafford together. So I'm curious to see, are they going to go small ball, trying to get Rudy out the game early? You know what I mean? How they going to do it?
These bigs, the mini bigs should feel a little freer.
They should.
In series. Okay, maybe I can roam a little bit more. I'm not playing a powerhouse like Jokic, shoot, pass, dribble. So that I think that could play into, clogging that paint up for more so Luka, I'll say, because Kyrie is just his perimeter game is he knows how to get to that.
Yeah.
Really, and his finishing package, but Luka more so kind of clogging him and kind of like shrinking the floor. Yeah. On Luka sometimes can kind of, frustrate him a little bit.
It's going to be really up to PJ Washington and Derek White. I mean Derek Jones. Are they going to make open threes? If they make open threes, this is going to be they have a chance to win this series. But if they're playing the way they've been playing the last two series, they got a shot because they've been shooting the shit out the ball the last two series. So if they're doing that,
those PJ Washington 25, 30-point games, they could not have came at a better time. Because back to the point, Kyrie and Luka were struggling. They were like,
and now it just gives him more confidence.
Yeah. So Derek, like I said, same thing with Derek Jones. So if they can continue their trend, we might be looking at 7, like you said, for sure.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see how the matchups go. Like, who's going to guard Cat? Are they going to put PJ on Cat? Are they going to put I'm curious how they match that up. Because Cat, I think Cat is the X factor in this series. He has 4 good games. They should win the series. But I'm just curious to see how they do the matchups. I feel like what's his name? Dwight Powell might come off the bench a little bit more in this series, just for matchup wise, just to be a little physical with Cat a little bit, kind of frustrate him.
I don't think Powell's there anymore.
No, he's there. He was there. I saw him.
Dwight Powell
the other day. Dwight Powell's still there. He's on the bench. He don't play. But he's on the bench. Because Cleveland's out. Cleveland's out for the season.
Oh, my fault, Dwight. I didn't see him in a minute.
Yeah, he's still there. I played him at Stanford. He's still there. I know. I always see him on the sideline.
So he might have to get some burn in the series then. To your point, like
just a little bit, just to help the guard Cat because they're not gonna play 2 bigs.
I might want to just use a foul. You go use some fouls.
It's depending on what happens.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be because you got Gafford and Lively are a huge lob threat still. So you can't help too much because the lob's still there.
All right.
So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Rudy Gobert is gonna. It's gonna be interesting to see how they defend.
You made me really think when you go back to the Luka Kyrie duo because it's like they pretty much haven't been getting nothing out of Tim Hardaway.
Oh, he's been so hit or miss.
And that team, but they're still so dangerous because Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, and don't let Tim Hardaway come off the bench and start and get hot because he's so streaky. He hit his first 2, he might have 30. He missed his first 2, he gonna have about 4.
I think if they could pencil Timmy in for 16, I think they'd feel so much better about where they're at.
Well, he hasn't been healthy to the playoffs, so I think he's still trying to play himself in the shape still, kind of to a degree. Like it's tough to come into the playoffs after the injury and hey, welcome back. Like it's the biggest game of your career.
6 man in the league in the playoffs.
And he can go. Don't get me wrong, he can go. When he's going, they're really hard to beat. But Josh Green's been playing great for him. Another guy you can throw out there for a defender and can make a corner 3 or 2 if he gets going. So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be a good series. I hope it goes 6-7 just as a basketball fan. The more basketball, the better. At this point, I have no dog in any of these fights. I want, I'm not a fan of any of these teams at this point. I'm just a fan of the game. So I'm just trying to see the more basketball, the better.
I mean? I love these extended series for sure.
Yeah, right now we got a game every day. As soon as the finals happens, it's like, damn, it's really about to be over.
Those weeks when it feels like, man, it's a game Monday to Sunday. Game 7 Sunday.
Yeah. Right. 2 games a day and stuff. Like last Sunday we had 2 game 7s. You can't ask for that. You can't ask for much better than that.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Man. So it's good hoop right now. So we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be game 1 is it's coming out Wednesday. So tonight, game 1's tonight, Wednesday night.
That should be in mini.
And Mini's gonna be rocking in there. I hope KG makes an appearance in one of these games.
He said, I think I heard him say he wants to do some mini games and some Boston
I
games.
heard that too. I hope
Yeah.
he gets to Minnesota because he hasn't been back and he needs to get his jersey retired immediately. I don't know what they're waiting on.
I mean, it might be some. Hey, that's true. True that. True
I don't
that.
know
I
what they're
don't know
waiting
what
on. Like I don't know what they're waiting on. I don't know what else the man got to do. He's the only
Boston.
last time you were here was him.
Boston shouldn't have beat them to the punch on that. That's kind of
100,
crazy.
no shot.
Yeah.
I get he won a championship in Boston. I get all that, but
Yeah.
Minnesota, you would never sniff a championship without Kevin Durant. You didn't even been
Right.
close without him.
Right.
The
They made
closest
some.
you got was with him.
Yeah, he was a league MVP. You know, come on.
Defensive player
So
of the year there once, I think. He was unreal.
yeah. I wonder if
Unreal.
him
So,
popping out. I wonder if him popping out could I do something to Cat and Gobert a little bit and Nas.
hey, if KG shows up to the game, you know they're gonna be even extra hyped.
You know what I mean?
You know that. But
And
then
agree too. You know.
but same one goes the other way around. Kyrie might say, I might put on a show for OG. Like you know
Yeah.
how it go.
Yeah.
It go both ways. In this league, you never know what can, get somebody's juice going.
KG can go in Area 21 and be like, Kyrie, like Lord,
Lord. That man's hilarious.
yeah,
But all right, man. We're on halftime. We'll see you in a second.
yeah.
Back from half. Third quarter. All right. So the all defensive team was released, I think yesterday. So for the first team, we got Bam, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Herb Jones, and Victor Wembanyama.
Wow.
Second team, we got Alex Caruso, Drew Holiday, Jaden McDaniels, Jalen Suggs, Derek White. Do you have any issues with any of these lists so far?
No, I liked all the selections. I like those. I think those are all those guys are pretty much some of the premier like point of attack on ball defenders.
I think it's interesting now that since there's no more positions, that the first team is like four bigs.
So yeah, that was interesting. So the first team is like all bigs, and then the second team is like
All guard, basically.
guard, yeah, type. So it's
It's
like
the second team is all guards and one forward, which
it was
Jaden
McDaniels,
McDaniels, which he could be a shooting guard if you want him to be.
right? He could guard 1 through 4.
Yeah. So the first
Yeah.
team is literally four forward / center, and then Herb Jones is a small forward / power forward. I would say. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
shooting guard, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's interesting how that works now that there's no positions that they just throw in the bigs in there. I mean, I get the bigs probably have more opportunities to make more plays on the defensive end, come to blocks and like they count as like rebounds, finishing kind of play, type of part of defense. So like that's interesting how that works. I think Drew Holiday should be up there as a first team all defensive player. I think he's not going to get the love he deserves because he's on a great defensive team, similar to Rudy Gobert, but he wins defensive player of the year. So it's kind of weird how they view that. But I mean, look, Derek White and Drew Holiday both make it. Just shows you how good they are defensively in Boston.
Wow. Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I think we're seeing a trend too. That's why I was trying to find a trend with these selections and watching the Denver mini series and then looking at these selections. I think that point of attack guards that can kind of pick up as soon, maybe not 94 feet the whole game, but at half, or can just kind of like be a pest for a guy on the ball. I think that's going to be something people more like trying to look for now because of how certain teams like Denver, Indiana, the Knicks, kind of get into their offense with these guards is so tough,
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see more guard specialists on defense.
Right. Like the Davion Mitchell will be looked at a kind of a higher value more than they are now.
Yeah. Like we don't. It's okay if you can't score 20. Like
right. As long as you make an open three and play good defense, we
chase this guy around. Yeah. Like, you can win us a series.
That's what Jalen Suggs does for Orlando.
He's that guy for them.
He had the most. He's not the most skilled offensively, but he's athletic, can get to the basket and make an open three when he's there, and then he's locks the hell up.
Jalen, we don't need you to be Super Villanova or where do you go, Gonzaga,
Gonzaga,
right?
yeah,
Gonzaga, yeah, we don't need you to be the leader of Gonzaga here, you know.
right.
But all the winning stuff and the hustle plays, like, yeah, and I think keep an eye on that. I think we're gonna see a lot more of those 6'4", 6'5", like
It's
just
funny
play them all
too.
across the perimeter. Yeah,
It's funny
yeah,
too how the NBA in the like regular season ski teams scoring 140, 150 a night. In the playoffs, shit, people barely
De-
going over 100 now. Some of these
Denver
games.
had a couple games. Denver had a game with like 70. Like
And
it was like,
teams picking up full court like it's AAU basketball and shit. Like I ain't seen people pick up full court in years.
man, it's very interesting because like you don't wouldn't you think like man let's play like that like on game 68 of the season on a Tuesday night and let's get this win.
I guess those games just don't mean it clearly don't mean that much. And like when
Yeah,
you're playing so
yeah,
many games a night
yeah,
or a month, you can't do that every night because you'll be burnt out. Like these dudes
yeah,
are also exhausted after
yeah,
these games
yeah.
because they're playing their
They got
asses off.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a
If
different level of energy.
especially if you're like a Yoke, a Murray, an Ant, a Luka, and it's like not only am I being called on to play top tier professional defense, I gotta play professional top tier offense as well.
And I'm getting picked
That's
up 94
that's
feet for 48
that's tiring
minutes.
as hell. That's
You know
tiring
what I
as hell.
mean? Just picking up somebody full court alone is tiring. Not
Yeah,
let alone doing it every possession. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, but yeah, I
yeah,
just numerous teams are doing it. The Wolves pick
yeah,
you up 94 feet. The
yeah.
Pacers pick you up 94 feet. I'm like, damn, when they start doing this?
Right, right.
I watch Pacers game all the time. They don't do this, and like
Now,
it's a whole
now
different
they're
game.
letting now they're letting guys go by him, but
Yeah,
they're at least they're there trying to
but
like
like trying to speed the game up, make you shoot quicker than you want to. Cause
right,
like
right.
sometimes, a couple times in that game, like Pacers were picking up full, and then Drew Holiday would fly by somebody and shoot a pull up three. That's not what y'all do. That's perfect. That's a bad shot for y'all. We out. Make it or
It's not
miss.
what
You
y'all.
make it cool, but you
It's
miss
not what.
that. We're running. Like we'll
Right.
live with
It's not.
those more than the setup. Pick and roll, wide open layup. We'll live with the jack up threes in the first 4 seconds of the shot clock because you missed that. That's how we like to play.
We're not letting y'all run nothing. Missoula drew up.
So it's exactly like y'all not getting the assists. We're not getting JT like easy rhythm jumpers, and like sometimes it hurts them because they go on a 12-0 run again in the game. But
Mm,
Pacers will always come back. They can score the ball with better than anybody.
yeah.
They're never out of the game the way the Pacers play. They play so fast. They're never out of the game.
The interesting Carlisle kind of seeing a few different teams he's had. Now he's
Yeah,
running and gunning, but we've seen him go clamp down with Dallas teams in like I think he was in Indiana before. I think back in the day with when
Oh,
Larry Bird
really?
was
Oh, okay.
yeah. So those teams were always like defensive and tough, and then Dallas was tough and kind of defensive minded, very throwback team. And then now, in this ushering in a new era, he's got a running gun team that don't really play great all NBA defense.
He said he had to this off season. He had to like really sit down with himself and like change the way he like coaches. Like he's like, I'm
That's
not
dope.
used to doing this. Like I'm not used to like letting dudes run up the floor and like they get a layup, they get a layup. Like, but with the way our team is constructed, I have to do it. If I want to coach this team, I gotta adjust to them just running and gunning. So he's like, I came in this year with a whole new attitude and like they're in these conference finals.
That's dope. That's
And
coaching.
like that's
You got
coaching.
to
Like
build.
you gotta
You got
respect.
to
You
build
gotta
a
coach
roster.
to the personnel. Yeah, like that's the hardest thing to do for coaching. And like you got a roster. Tyrese Halliburton's not a defender. He's not, but he'll give you 13 assists a game
Yeah.
and 20 points if you let him run, and that's what he
Right.
does.
Right.
So we'll see, man. But all right. All rookie team also came out.
Okay.
All rookie team just came out.
Did Wimby make it?
Of course,
Okay.
he if he didn't make it, we had a riot in the streets.
Right.
All right. All first team is Chet, Jaime Jaquez, Brandon Miller, Brendan Podensky, and Victor Wembanyama.
Mm,
That's the
wow.
first team. And second team, we got Keontae George, Gigi Jackson the second, Derek Lively, Amon Thompson, and Kason Wallace.
Okay. I like that. Wallace is in
So
OKC.
yeah, first
Yeah.
team I have no qualms with, no problems at all.
No.
Podensky had a hell of a season in Golden State. Think he
Yeah.
led the league in charges. I think what do you go? Santa Clara? Santa Clara dude's been balling recently.
Yeah. He went to
Santa
Santa
Clara dude's
Clara.
been him and Jalen Williams have been balling, putting over Santa
Yeah.
Clara.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Uh, Pajimski fit perfect for the Warrior system.
100%.
Perfect for he's a seamless fit. He ended up getting some starting play over Clay. Could hit the
Yep.
three, and he's just a kind of like what they like mixed with like some like a TJ McConnell, Dante DiVincenzo.
He reminds he's like a Gary Payton type defensively, but like he's a better offensive player, I would say, than Gary Payton, and smaller.
GP2. You talking about
Yeah,
GP2? Yeah,
GP2.
yeah.
GP2 is Podensky, but like can't shoot.
Okay, I see what you're
You know what
saying.
I mean? Podensky can
Yeah,
do everything more,
but
but Gary Payton locks the, but he also can lock the fuck up.
yeah, I mean, just the Warrior thing. They kind of draft similar type mindset
Those are
guys.
role,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
You're clearly gonna be a role player for us, but you're gonna be great in your role.
yeah.
You know what I
Uh,
mean?
who do I really like? You said Brandon Miller. Quietly, I thought
Oh, I'm about to say that, man.
for him to make first team. I thought that was really cool. He had a
He's
quietly really nice year.
he had a
Really
hell of a
nice year.
season.
There was some game, as you know, me and Jake got a league pass on
Yep.
on YouTube TV,
UTV.
so
Yep.
we catch a lot of ball, man, and there were some matchups where Brandon Miller was like some star matchups where it was like, wait a minute, like
He
and they
looked
played the
good,
Spurs, yeah, and he was taking it where it's like, wait a minute, he got 28,
especially when
like
LaMelo went down.
yeah, when Lamelo went down and he's at the top on the wing, really getting to it, and
Creating. Yeah.
so
I
they
thought
got
he,
one,
I thought he was really good at Alabama. I thought he could really shoot the rock. I didn't know he was this good off the dribble.
yeah.
He got a lot more like package to his game than I thought. I didn't know he had this much in his bag. He got game. I think he had a couple posters this year. He
Yeah.
gonna be a nice little piece. The problem is he's in Charlotte, and Charlotte nothing looking good for Charlotte at all anytime soon, unfortunately.
Well,
So
I think the good thing that was promising is when he kind of came on, they moved Gordon Hayward out of there.
they did
That was a good sign to kind of like
clear
let's
it out.
and they got Terry Rozier got out of there as well. So they're
True.
trying to find
They need to get a new coach. I don't know who.
yeah
They get
yeah
a new who coach and a new front office.
yeah
Well, I mean, the front office they don't draft bad.
yeah
They had some good picks the last 3 or 4 seasons, but they just have no. It's tough when you're coming to a losing program. Like you don't know how to win, and like it's hard to just create a winning culture when you haven't won in ever.
yeah.
So
And
it's tough.
I mean, you're basically a rebrand, like a retread franchise,
Yeah,
and
it's
those
tough.
things are hard to deal with.
Yeah, that's people don't think about that all the
Branding
time.
yourself, building an identity, and
A lot. It's a
so
lot. A lot goes into it.
yeah.
So Chet obvious, Victor obvious, and Jaime
Mm-hmm.
Jaquez obvious. He had a hell of a year as well.
Hell of a year, real contributor
4 year
on a
guy.
real contributor on a playoff type team. So
Yep.
when you're
Four
doing
year
that,
guy can
yeah,
come in right away and contribute. Doesn't really
yeah,
need much to polish because he's been doing this for a minute. Not for a minute, but he just played so many games, seen so many different things. He's just more experienced than most 18,
and
19-year-olds are.
he's not really gonna try anything he shouldn't be trying or anything like
He
that.
knows his game.
Yeah,
He knows what he does well, know what he doesn't do
yeah,
well. Not gonna try anything out of the ordinary. He
right.
just knows. He knows his game. That's a great
Play
way
hard.
to put it.
Mm.
Second team, I didn't have no real issues with this. I mean, the Thompson twins. I thought the one in Detroit. He's in Detroit, so he kind of just it's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I like both the Thompson
I do
twins.
too. Amen made it from Houston. He had a good season. Houston
He,
was better than people thought they were this year. They had a pretty good year.
you said he made it or he didn't?
He did make it second team.
So both the twins made it.
No, only Amen made it.
The one from Houston.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, like, cause that was a real. He was cast in a good light because they had some success.
they did
So
exactly. It's easier to help when you win some games.
yeah,
They almost made the playing tournament.
yeah. I think they were gonna get in there.
Yeah,
Jalen
he had a
Green.
good season.
Yeah,
And then Casey Wallace, had a great year. I didn't even have him on my radar really until I saw him in the playoffs, and he was, he's a great defender. He make
yeah,
open threes. Great little piece. Thunder once again just draft well. Sam Presti know what he's doing over there.
yeah, man. I think I wonder if drafting in a city like that in a franchise like that, are you just honing in on guys that just love hoop?
Mm,
Like the KD, like how KD came in and was a gym rat, and KD was like, I don't go out, I just lock myself in the gym out
yeah,
here. And you gotta
that's
find
a
the
good
guys
point.
that just relishing that.
Don't care
Just
about the
relishing.
club
Like
scene and
I
shit. They
love
just
that
want to be
there's
in the
no.
gym.
I love there's no one oak out here. You know,
Right.
you know,
I see what you're saying. That's a
you
good
know.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
have to
you
live
know,
like that if you're gonna be in some of them cities.
yeah,
That's a good point.
so,
That's a good point.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
man, those are the
yeah.
What were you saying? Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying I don't know if I wouldn't say if it makes it easier, but it just makes it more focused on what you're looking for in a guy.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah, it
like,
helps.
yeah,
It
yeah.
helps for sure. But all right, man. Those are the all defensive teams and all rookie teams so far. The all NBA teams haven't been announced yet. Very curious to see who gets snubbed on the all NBA first team because it's gonna be somebody.
So that's what I want to say too. Isn't it weird? I feel like the award announcements are a little weird.
They're all over the place every year.
Yeah, shouldn't MVP be last?
MVP's always around this time, isn't it?
They announced MVP.
They
They
do
announced
all
MVP.
they do the individual awards first, and they do the all NBA ones after.
That doesn't feel.
I saw it all. I don't know if that's always worked, but that's what they're doing this year at least.
That feels backwards right now because it's like I don't know. You gave away. I don't know. You gave away the Depoy. AD wasn't a finalist, but let's track back around and make sure he's on first team. Like it just feels all over the kind of like
NBA they always do weird shit with these awards, man. They've been fucking it up for decades.
Yeah. Let alone the criteria. Now we got the timing feels a little.
Yeah, I miss the days when they used to give it to them during the game and they used to hold up and you make a speech at half court and shit. That was the best.
They didn't even televise Jokic's.
Yeah, I didn't even see. I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, and so I'm like, are y'all ashamed that this is a 3-time MVP or something? I don't know. Like they're trying to hide it. Like I don't know. Like that was weird though.
There's so many politics to all this shit. It's insane to me.
If you're a Denver fan watching at home, you want to see that moment.
100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true.
Like, so that was interesting.
But we'll see, man. All NBA teams coming out. Who knows when? So we'll see how that looks when that happens. But that's what we got right now for the all defensive and the all rookie teams. No real issues so far for me.
No, not really.
But yeah, we'll head into the fourth quarter. We'll see you in a second.
Yep.
We're back, fourth quarter, winning time.
Quarter 4.
And the usual start bench cuts. We got a couple today. Got a couple different ones. We're gonna do an old school and a new school. Okay.
This old school is a little spicy.
Old school's a little tough. It's a toughie.
Yeah.
Here we go. Start bench cut. Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, or Tracy McGrady. Start bench cut. And we're talking about all in their primes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go. All
right, go ahead.
I'm gonna start Allen Iverson.
Yep.
That's a personal one for me. That was my first favorite player. Yep. A lot of people don't know that. Like before Kobe and Shaq, like AI was like my guy. Like, AI, and then it was Shaq. And then it was Kobe. Like Kobe stole it later. He stole it from you. How Mike said, like, he keep calling me at 2 a.m. I'm like, I like this guy. Like, I mean,
AI was first. He was in the league first. He was in the league first.
He took them boys to the finals. He was taking them to the alls. So
that was before the braids too. Back in the day, the first year we had the regular cut.
Yeah, just a natural. Yeah,
natural joint. That was crazy. Catching bodies.
Yeah. So that motor, the swag, everything goes without saying, right? AI, the answer.
Yep.
I'm gonna start him. My bench, wow. Because
this is tricky.
I remember one of my favorite shoes growing up was them Nike Shocks. I'm not gonna lie. Because I really thought that you could I thought I was really gonna give you some.
Pump joints up.
Yeah, I thought you was really gonna get some lift.
Yep.
But I'm gonna bring T-Mac off my bench, I think. Just because a little taller than Vince, a little lankier, a little more versatile. I think a little bit more better playmaker.
Okay.
High pick and roll, coming off, getting into the teeth of the defense, doing some things. Saw a little bit more of that with T-Mac. And then I'm gonna have to cut VC.
So you're benching T-Mac, taking and getting rid of VC. Okay.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, someone got to go. Someone got to go. So I'm gonna also start Allen
That's
Iverson.
the name of the game.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm also gonna start AI. I'm starting AI.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, it's Allen Iverson, bro. Look, one of the best to ever do it. As a small guard myself, one of the reasons I wanted to play basketball was AI. You know what I mean? Everyone when I was playing AU, everyone and their mom had the braids and the cornrows. So he just was a culture icon. If you didn't like AI, you didn't like basketball. It just didn't make sense. One went with the other at the time. You know what I mean? It was this is what it was. So I got to start AI. Not just because of that, but also because he was an absolute dog on the court. Absolute dog. The Kobe AI matchups were iconic. Just going back and looking at the highlights now, seeing how good he was back in the day, bro. He was unreal. He was unreal. People don't give him the credit he deserves. I don't know. I mean, people do, but he just gets forgotten sometimes because he didn't win a championship. It's one of those kind of things. But he was unbelievably great. So I'm going with AI starting.
Love it.
This is where it gets tough. Man. Question first: is T-Mac a Hall of Famer yet? Is he going to get in the Hall of Fame, or is he a Hall of Fame? He's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
T-Mac is in, and then I think
he is in.
T-Mac is in. VC is about to go in. Vince is about to go in, and he's gonna have T-Mac introduce him in. T-Mac is gonna be his guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. I was wondering about if T-Mac was a Hall of Famer or not. I wasn't sure, but he is. Okay.
So Jay set this up without even knowing that.
No, I really didn't know. I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Man, that makes it harder.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't, I was gonna bench VC.
How dope is that for VC to be like, yo, T-Mac was great enough to bring me in? Like,
it's pretty sick.
It's your cousin. So
yeah, it's pretty insane. Damn. I don't think people get how good Vince Carter was.
I liked Vince a lot. I did.
Like he was. People said he was supposed to be the next Jordan when he came in the league, bro. He was that good. He was that polished.
So I think my thing where I always kind of went with VC was I never saw that game flesh out like the T-Mac and the Bean. I never really
It never did. It didn't.
I never got the shimmy. Then I might fake the fade up and under. Like
he was doing that in Toronto before T-Mac got there, and then I guess when T-Mac got there, it wasn't the same.
And taking and making big shots and things like that.
There was a series back in the day, VC and AI going at it back in the day. Great series. Like I think it went 7. And I didn't realize how good Vince Carter was. Like he was hitting game winners. I'm like, oh, this dude was really like that. But I guess when he left, it just like he wasn't. When he went to New Jersey, he was still killing, but he had Jay Kidd, he had Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin. Like it wasn't. He didn't have to do what he was doing over there in Toronto at his beginning of his career. But all that and all, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna bench T-Mac and I'm gonna get rid of VC. I think T-Mac is just a better all around scorer than Vince Carter overall in his of his career. Is a taller Kobe, damn near as what Kobe said. He's basically taller than me, which is scary to think about. Yeah. If he didn't have some of the injuries, he would have been scary. If that Houston team didn't get hurt, they could have had a chip or two.
We without injuries, you're probably talking about a top 10 scorer. You're probably top 10 in scoring.
If he don't get hurt and y'all don't get hurt in those teams, they have a chip. They probably got a chip on their belt.
Ooh, that's tough. They
probably at least get to the finals.
Ron Artest in that mix. Shane Battier. They had Ron Artest and Shane Battier, which is crazy.
Rayford Alston was playing for them. They had a squad. Squad. So they could, if they didn't get hurt, they had a chance to make a finals one of those years. I don't know if they would have won it, but they had a chance to make a finals one of those years.
It's interesting. You brought up Vince's shot making. It's kind of crazy when he was able to kind of extend his career because of his shot.
Yeah.
So I think because early he was a little ahead of the time, a little bit his game because his game was threes and dunks.
Right.
And early, so I think that's where I kind of like lost sight of him a little bit because I didn't get a lot of the flesh, the boxes and elbows. He had it.
Yeah, he did.
But a lot of it was like big game winner threes, fadeaways, and dunks.
You're right.
So but I think all in all, it helped extend his career too because that's what the game became.
Right.
So Vince on Atlanta hitting a lot of threes and dunking on fast breaks. That's
a good point. It should extend his career. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
After maybe not having to get to all of that extended his career, and he was just like threes and dunks. Like,
yeah. he is like top 10 in threes all time or something like that. So it's pretty insane.
He can get shoot with the best of them.
All right. Next start bench cut. A little more. Well, not a little more. Is more today. Playoff type talk. We got Jason Tatum. I got Luka Doncic. And I got Anthony Edwards. I already think I know what we're both going to say.
Tatum, Doncic.
And Anthony Edwards. Start bench cut. I'll kick it off for you for this one.
Okay.
I'm going to – the start and the bench for me is the hardest part.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to start Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
Just because I get a little bit more on the defensive end.
Okay.
Only reason.
Okay.
Because Luka's a scoring champion this year after 34 and 8 and 7. So I need that.
Yeah.
Because I need that off the bench at least.
Don't leave the gym. Luka,
yeah. Listen, I can't get rid of that. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. But I'm going to get at least 25. But I'm going to get a couple big blocks, a couple big steals. I'm going to get more of the defensive energy that we might need to help us, get over the hump.
And you still might get
Luka, and still might get my 30. You know what I mean?
Fair.
I think Luka can do more with less because he's so skilled.
All right.
So I'm going to bench Luka. I'm going to start Anthony Edwards, I'm going to bench Luka, and I got to cut J. Tate. Not saying J. Tate's not great, but out of these three, like we always say, someone got to go. And unfortunately, he got to go.
So I love that, by the way. The defensive nod. You're gonna start with your defense. Hey, we might come out and just get into these guys early. And
just because I'm watching the playoffs, like you said, that defense is it's really becoming not coming back, but it's becoming more of a featured thing. Like we need our guards to be able to guard 994 and pick up and but it shortens the shot clock a little bit so much. Make a shot clock from 24 to 16 or 17 is a big difference for your offense.
Yeah. True. Having those teams like Denver come up in a set and it's not enough time to run all of that, So
100%. We can't get into all your options. You know what I mean? You got the option too, and you got to shoot it, so it helps.
Yeah, and Michael Porter will shoot it, but I'm gonna flip it though.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna say is, let me start Luka. Reason being, if that's gonna be my lead guard, let's get the offense a little more organized early, and let me have a guy that big guard, 6'8", point guard that can kind of knows how to deal with those double teams every time, can kind of force his way around through the defense a little more forcefully because of his size. Because Ant, one thing I liked, what I saw with Ant, he kind of he hasn't dealt with those double teams the best.
Right.
Late.
He's learning.
So Luka, I don't have that learning curve where it's like I gotta.
Luka look like 2 years older. That the 2 more years in the league that helps 100%. His first real run in the playoffs. This is Luka's second time in the Eastern Conference Finals in 3 years.
Right.
So also going back to our math prediction, I think experience might take a big role in this playoff series at some point. I don't know when it's gonna come into play, but it's gonna have a play at some point. Because the Timberwolves are so young; they've been rolling through everybody. So we'll see. But sorry, go ahead, team.
No. Well said. Now, what I do with Ant off my bench, now that's my change of pace. Point guard, backup guard. We was irky jerky, smooth. Now we coming in. Now we picking up, bringing the pace, throwing you fastballs. We've been throwing curves and sliders. Now I'm coming with the straight gas.
Yeah, right down the lane.
Yeah. So and like you said, Tatum won't be on this team, but we're gonna hate to see him.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No, I agree with that. Look, you can't go wrong either way. I always think these start bench cuts are hilarious because if I got both physicals on my team, they both start. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't care who else on the team, they both starting.
All right.
So but I mean, it's always a fun conversation to have. So we're basically on the same mindset. You're starting Luka, I'm starting Ant, and you're benching Ant, I'm benching Luka. So it's all around the same boat. But yeah, man, another episode in the books.
Four quarter
podcast. Listen, man, we want to thank y'all for rocking with us. We've finally hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, man. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. We've been flying with subscribers. I don't know if it's a YouTube ads really doing their job or people really fucking with us. Whatever it is, we ain't mad at it. We'll take it.
Keep clicking, keep sharing, keep commenting.
Please.
We love the
Yeah.
comments. But
The comments.
We love to hear y'all takes. You know what I mean?
Please.
Be a
Please
different take
comment.
we got. Give us a new perspective on hoop, you know?
We're not tripping. We'll debate with you. As long as you ain't come in tripping hostile, you know, we chilling.
Right.
We chilling. We just talking hoop. You know what I'm saying? We both got full-time jobs outside of this. Trust us. We don't care that much. Okay?
Right.
We do this for the free. We're chilling.
Right.
So please comment, talk back with us. Back and forth. We love it. We love talking hoop about any day of the week.
And then big 1K. What we looking at, Jake, for the we got a giveaway for these people up soon.
So look, we got a giveaway coming up soon. I need to figure out the number now because I didn't expect it to be at 1K this episode. I was expecting to make the announcement this episode for the 1K, but now that we're already there, we might have to go like 1,500. We'll do a little giveaway. So we get to 1,500 subscribers by what's today's date?
Today's the
21st.
Yeah, those are
we can do it by the end of the month.
Okay.
So we got 10 days. So if we can get 1,500 by June 1st, I'm going to do a special giveaway. We got a brand already on the line talking to us about it. You know what I'm saying? We're getting there. We're getting there. I ain't gonna put them out there yet because they too big time for us right now. He got too much going on. But it's coming soon. So help us out. Subscribe. Hit that like button. If you're on any, audio platforms, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, whatever you like to listen to your podcast on, please give us a 5-star review. It means the world to the show. We're just trying to, get this thing up a little bit and see where it can take us. We have, like we said, we're just talking hoop, just having a good time. We would do this anyways if it wasn't on the podcast. So it's not like we're wasting anybody's time. But yeah, man, please keep checking us. Keep checking the podcast out. TikTok, I think we're at 750 now. We're moving up on TikTok. We're getting there.
TikTok. Go chime in on that TikTok too.
Hit the TikTok. Hit the Instagram as well.
Comments. It gets spicy.
Yeah, it does get spicy. TikTok is where it gets spicy in the comments. People got toxic is the key word. Yeah. Everybody got an opinion nowadays, and everybody else wrong. That's how it works. But hey, we love it. The more engagement, the better. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Four Quarters Podcast. I'm Jake. That's B Redd. And we will catch y'all next week. Peace.
4 quarters. All right.